Hi, this is Josh from Pupil Slicer, and you're listening to May Contain Metal. Hey, this is Josh from Pupil Slicer, and you're listening to May Contain Metal.
Hey!
All right!
Welcome to the episode.
Go
on. No, go on then.
So episode 23.
Yeah. What is it?
That was Josh there. Josh from Pupil Slicer.
Thank you, Josh. Appreciate that. Appreciate all of your enthusiasm on both attempts and the clear display of enthusiasm in between. Do I have to?
Great.
No, we appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Should we go? Should we play the theme tune and then get into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's make it say metal.
Put up your feet and put on the kettle. Make it say metal. Fuck the Grand Prix, who's Sebastian Vettel? Make it say metal. Metal. Make it say metal. Other podcasts suck, so you have to settle for. Make it say metal.
Right, this is episode 23. It's the Pupil Slicer special. Just want to basically we spoke to Pupil Slicer, and this is that episode. Normal service resumes next week, episode 24. I can't remember what it was called, but so Pupil Slicer, just throwing it out the front. Their new album Mirrors is released on the 12th of March on Prosthetic Records, and if you don't know what they sound like, here it is. If you haven't already, go and pre-order their album. Si and I have pre-ordered the vinyl, the cake-looking one that looks
Delicious.
Looks delicious. Gonna eat.
Good enough to
gonna eat mine and then listen to Si's. I think you can pre-order a tape and a CD. So go and spend all your money. Like, you're not spending it on anything else. Bloody lockdown, so go spend all your money on pre-orders, and they got some nice t-shirts up there as well, so go and buy them. Do you want to run through the running order, Si?
Let's do the running order. So it's not like a normal episode, it's sort of an interview episode. What we've done is we've split it into two bits. So
Double
the very
section.
first bit, it's a double section.
Section 1.
Section 1 is the first bit is sort of a bog standard interview, I guess, more of a chat.
Yeah, a chat.
I think we're going to call it a chin wag.
Chat. Oh,
sorry, chin wag.
Chat.
Is what we're calling
Okay,
it.
right.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Chin. Right. Okay. We're
So
going
the
with
first
chin
bit
wag.
of a chin wag. That's going to be like 20 minutes or so.
Yeah.
And then the second portion is a new game that we're developing for all our interviews that we did. We did a sort of a test run with Juan Bond over on the Christmas special. So go back to that if you want to listen to Juan Bond and us have a chat. And we are calling it. Can you get the woodpecker out for this?
Yeah, let's get it out. Here we go.
Get your woodpecker out. It's going to be called
Dissection. Because it's we use a die.
We use a die, and it's a section.
And
so
what there's no better band to start Dissection off than Pupil Slicer as well.
You're absolutely
Perfect,
right.
Perfect band.
We'll have to only interview bands that have some kind of autopsy related.
a scalpel-based name.
Yeah, scalpel-based names. So I think without further ado,
Any quick admin?
I was about to. Well, you interrupt. But without further ado, I'll do the admin.
Yeah.
And then we'll go into the first bit.
No homework this week as well. That's.
Oh, thank God for that. Bit of admin then. Very quickly, we have a playlist that accompanies every episode, and we'll make one for this episode. So if you hear us mention a band, or Pupil Slicer mention a band, or whatever,
like Car Bomb,
want to check them out, like Car Bomb, for example, then don't disappear. wait to the end of the episode, go to the playlist, and all the bands that were mentioned during the episode by us or them will be on the playlist, so you can check them out there. The second thing to mention is we have added a new playlist, which is new releases. So every week, every Friday, Matt and I throw stuff in that have come out on the Friday that we're really enjoying for both of us to listen to decide what we talk about on the next episode. But we've made that public and we've put it on our Instagram page at May Contain Metal.
It's like a little spoiler.
It's a little spoiler for for our next episode. So go there, have a listen to the new stuff that comes out, and then when the episode comes up, you might have heard it, which is good. And the other bit of admin I have forgotten. Oh yeah, if you want to talk to us, send us a DM. Head over to @MayContainMetalPod on Instagram. Follow us in that. Send us a DM about whatever you want, or send us an email, maycontainmetal@gmail.com. And finally, please like, subscribe, follow the podcast.
Tell a friend.
Instagram. Yeah, last but not least, tell a friend.
Tell your friend.
That would help us out. So let's. Should we go to the chinwag?
Let's go to the chinwag. Here it is.
Chinwag.
Would you guys like to quickly introduce yourselves and what you do in Pupil Slicer, and then we'll sort of kick things off, if that's cool.
I'm Katie. I shout and hit my guitar to try and make sounds in Pupil Slicer.
Well done.
Got there
Good
in the
intro.
end.
I'm Josh. I'm the drummer.
I'm Luke. I hit the bass, make some sound, and I shout, but not as much as Kate, but enough that you'd think, oh, there's two people shouting now.
Enough to be considered. Are you technically considered backing vocals or co?
No, I'm not quite at co-vocals yet. We're not. It's not like
Not 50-50.
It's not like mastered on trade-off yet. It's
Okay,
more,
fair. That's a shame.
a
One day.
gentle support.
Well, Josh will need to join you to get the Mastodon trade off.
That's
Yeah,
what I
There
said.
you go.
Yeah, we need some lead vocals from Jay.
We had Josh on vocals at our live shows early on, doing the backing vocals, and that was, I think,
Did that work?
quite exhausting. Apparently.
When we were just like, if you've heard like our first demo sort of EP and our EPs, I could get away with it, but absolutely no chance in hell with the newer material that I
Too
could.
frantic.
Yeah, that'd be too much like multi coordination, and yeah, it'd be horrible. But I don't know. The Code Orange guy did it for a few years, and now he's the lead singer. So if I ever wanted a plot to take over the band,
So what you're saying is you might stage a mutiny.
yes, if I wanted to become the main person, I could work my way up. But you never know. I'm quite happy playing drums for now.
The
My
last
my screaming days are past me. You know,
Well,
long in the past now.
So Mirrors is coming out soon. You guys excited?
yeah.
Good.
Yeah, we are. The thing is, we've been sitting on it and working on it for such a long time.
Yeah.
We finished
Like
tracking
the standard like dickhead band thing to say, but it's actually true.
We finished tracking in October 2019.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Am I right in saying you guys only got together in 2019? Is that true?
No,
I'm making that up.
make-
A trick question. You passed. Well done.
yeah. Late 2016, I think.
Okay.
And then the first release was 2017, but we weren't Pupil Slicer in our current form until we joined, which was, I don't know what year. What year was that, Luke? 2018?
In 2018 or 17. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we actually, I'd say we started being this band when we started writing this album, because the first EP was me and the bassist of an old band I was in just dicking about, because we thought of the name Pupil Slicer and it was quite a funny band name. And we were like, it's too good not to use.
Good reason as any, I think.
Gotta keep that.
I wanted to do that with a grindcore project called Optimus Grind, but it never really got off the ground.
Oh, that's good. I'm going to put it out there. That's better than Pupil Slicer. No, I'm kidding. No. It is very good though.
I'm quite into my Transformers, so I think that's better.
Who knows? Alias.
So is the reason why you've sat on it for so long simply because of the whole pandemic situation? You were kind of waiting it out.
Just to make it.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
You finished tracking it
There's
back
not
in.
been any breaks in making it. It just took a long time, and we had no idea what we were doing. We tracked drums in February 2019.
Yeah.
I didn't track guitars till August, and then we tracked bass
in August as well.
And then I went and did vocals, which took way longer than I thought because I can't do them properly and I need lessons. So that took many sessions over September and October. Then we gave it to Ped, and it was a long time. He needed to find time to work on it, go back and forth, because we were reamping all the guitars with him. And then went off and mastering. And then by the time we had the final master, I sent it to Prosthetic like a couple days later, and they signed us. And that was in like May. So it's just taken a long time between every stage.
Just for context, sorry. I was just going to say, just for context, Pedram from Frontiera, who mixed the album.
Yeah. How do you know him?
We went to the first Frontiera show in London because I really liked Frontiera. Oh, wow. And I bought my first whammy pedal because of him. And I went to talk to him and be like, "Oh, you're sick. Can you tell me how all your gear works?" And then we just started chatting all the time. And then we were like, awesome. "Oh, we're working on an EP." But I was like, it's sort of a joke EP. Not a joke, but like we hadn't put the time in to make it worth recording with him because he was doing some stuff then. And we were like, "We'll come back to you. We'll come back to you on that one when we've got something really good and we'll do it together." And he was like, "Sick." And then like 2 years later, we were like, "Here it is." And he was like, "Right, crack on."
Did he just like sort of mix it all, master it?
He mixed and reamped all the guitars and then did a bit of production, put a bit of glitchy throughout. And we're going to work a bit more closely in future. I think we're going to go back and forth on demos and get him a bit more involved in songwriting and stuff. But this one was more of just top down. Like we handed him out all done, and then we're like, "Can you make it sound nice, please?"
And he was like, "I can put some glitches in it." And you're like, "Yeah, awesome."
Exactly. Yeah.
Do you like Carbon?
The glitches are really good.
Yeah.
Big fan of the glitches in it.
The first time it came back, there were a lot of changes. I think that when it first came back, we got a mix of the first track on the album, and it sounded like we were just given the section tone, which was sick. And I was like, "Oh, it's like Section playing one of our songs," but it didn't sound like us really. It was just like pure HM2 grind, and I was like, "Damn, that is very loud."
So you guys looking forward to gigging it eventually when that eventually happens?
Oh yeah. Well, all of it except for like the first track on the album, which is like unplayable for me and Josh. But it's Josh's fault because it's like 235 BPM. And I was like, he wrote that drum part, gave it to me, and then I wrote a thing on top of it. The part I wrote on top of it is really like almost impossible to play in one go over it. And it's just blast beats at that speed for a lot of it. It's quite the ride. So we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. How hard can it be?
To be fair, I think that's the one that you sent to me, and I was like, "We could make it techier," and you're like, "Sure." It's now so techy that I don't know if we can actually play it.
Yeah. I sent him. You were like, "It's a bit simplistic." So I was like, "I'll make it techier," and then wrote something that's like impossible to play. And I only just managed it tracking it on the album. Oh well, it's a future me's problem when we gig it.
Just cheat. Play that song on CD just before you come on stage, and then come on and play the rest.
Yeah.
Live.
Good idea.
I think Metallica did that with Hardwired.
Yeah.
I would mention the I was trying to think about death metal band that got loads of shade for that. Rings of Saturn, but I don't know. People do it like for tone quality, right? More than just cheating, like Buried Alive.
We're not cheating. We're proper DIY. Well, we're not gearheads at all. I'm like, I'll plug into the venue amp with my overdrive pedal and a whammy. That's all I need.
A boring question, but a standard one. How did you meet?
I put an ad on Join My Band saying,
Classic.
"I want to play in a band like Death Heaven." And Josh's bandmate messaged me and was like, "We're practicing right now in Brixton." And I was like, "Oh shit." And then got a train from the top of London down to Brixton to meet that band. And Josh was there. And we did that for a bit. And then Join My Band was also where we met Luke. But there's a funny story there because we were looking for a bassist, and Luke applied. I didn't reply to him for like 4 months because I didn't like his Facebook picture on Facebook
So
because I thought he looked unreliable with the
What was
dreads and the like. His Facebook picture was like holding pints and had dreads, and I was like, this guy won't be techie enough. And then he's more on time and more organised than the rest of us. So I was. It turned out I was a bigot in that case.
Balancing those 2 pints, isn't it? You got used to.
I have to say, I have to qualify that. They were kind of like
orange juice.
Steins.
All right.
Like a collection of like Steins and two fists, like.
Just showing off your Stein collection.
I just thought I looked friendly.
You do look friendly, but differently. Not
like this guy looks like a fucking waste man. I was like, yeah, thanks very much.
Yeah.
But you mean you did tell me that, which I appreciate. But
and you didn't leave. That's good of you.
And it's worth saying that the first time that I played with them, we played on a Thursday, and I had my sheet. They tabbed the songs out, and I was like, this is great. So there's tabs. This is amazing. It's always a good sign when you join a band. And like, so I had my tabs and kind of half knew the songs because I learned them. And then Kate was, gave me about 5 days notice. And I was like, oh shit, okay, I learned this stuff. And then we played on Thursday, and then we had a gig on Friday, and I literally had my music on a little stand on the side. And we were playing with like these punk bands and that. And this punk guy was like, man, you had the music on the stage. What's that about? I was like, I don't know these songs. But to be fair, I couldn't see any of it anyway. It was just all dark, but it was comforting.
A very classic punk person to be like, what is reading music? I don't understand.
Yeah.
How do you read those words?
What you're doing? What is it?
Is that a metal thing? Is that a pedal?
Yeah. Is that Sanskrit on that piece of paper?
That was good. So yeah, literally practice and then a show immediately, like a 1-2. It was good.
Did it go well?
Yeah, it was in Richmond.
Richmond, motherfucking Virginia.
Kingston. It was in Kingston.
Jamaica.
Yeah. Not fucking
travelled.
And it was in Kingston, with Grey Brain, who are like one of the band's good friends, and the singer from Grey Brain is on the album.
Have you guys considered any covers? Is that on the cards?
We've done loads of covers. We did not recorded, but we played Concubine by Converge at like every show until the other two told me we can't play it anymore because they're bored of it. And I'm like, I want to play it at every show.
Just sound check with it.
Yeah, maybe. And then we did a Death cover for a Death tribute gig, despite me and Josh never really listening to Death before then. Like, Luke's the metal member of the band, and me and Josh are the hipster metal band members. And we've been asked to do these like tribute gigs, and they're like, we've got a Death tribute gig, and I'm like, we've never listened to them. And Luke blasts out his book of knowledge on Death, and then we learn a song. And we got asked to do a Pantera cover gig, and I was like, never listened to Pantera.
Just to add to that, the two songs that we did, the Death one was Spirit Crusher.
Oh yeah,
which speaks for itself.
Yeah.
And then secondly, because I had to kind of take a sideways view, like a sideways approach on getting Kate to do a Pantera song, we arrived on one of the only. Well, I mean, Dime used a whammy, but we found a song that had whammy on, and we did
Suicide
Note Part 2. Oh, but I was like, I kind of must write a small abstraction of the acoustic bit on the bass at the start.
Yeah.
Which no one will know apart from me. But I did do it, and it was good. But yeah, I mean,
did we do any other covers? We've covered like Melvin's, but not live, like Hooch and Honey Bucket. But yeah, I haven't done those live.
We're talking about doing we're kind of knocking around ideas to do a kind of new wave cover, like a song by, I don't know, like
Depeche Mode.
Yeah, like Depeche Mode, or like Talking Heads, or the Cure, or Joy Division, that kind of like post-punk.
But will you metal it up, or will you keep it fairly true to the original? Because some bands do that.
Maybe I think
and do
from one of those.
True to the original thing, but it's like really deep in their sound.
Like 43% burnt for ages, but it's
that'll be good. You've got the guitar for it.
I've got my pink jag in.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we try and like play with it a bit, but I guess we're going to try and choose a song that's kind of quite is a bit sad boy, that we can sort of basically just blast over.
Yeah, that sounds good.
That's. I think that's what we'll basically arrive at.
I think they're the best when a band like takes a song that is nothing like they would normally play, but does it in their own style of how they would normally play. That's some of the best ones, in my opinion.
And then there'll be our Radio 1 Live Lounge cover. No, I'm joking. I don't know.
Have you heard the Dillinger cover of My Michelle, Guns N' Roses?
Yeah, banging.
That's one of my favourites. That's great.
They've got so many good covers. Like they did Living Colour. They've got Justin Timberlake. They've got Hot Teacher. They've just been. They covered a lot of
Black Flag.
Yeah. And Converge did Clean by Depeche Mode before, and Disintegration by The Cure. So they've got the new wave cover.
So you're in good company then.
Yeah.
So how do you guys attack the kind of songwriting process? Who does what?
A lot of it is me coming up with a riff, or like it's about 50-50. Like half of the songs on the album were probably I wrote everything out and then just gave the parts to the others, and then about half of them were like me and Josh went back and forth. Like Josh would have a guitar part, drum part first, and be like, "Can you write something over this?" Or we like get together in the shed, and I'd be like, "I've got these riffs. Do you want to drum over it?" And then I can sort of piece it together. I think one of them, like Wounds, was actually like one of the most collaborative things on there, because it was like Josh was like, what if we had a song we could start shows with that just was like a massive drum roll and stuff. And he was like, that's sick, and we started doing that, and I was like doing the harmonics over it a bit like in Concubine with the harmonics going in that, and then he sort of, as a joke, when got bored of doing the thing, went into like jazzy drums, and then we were like, oh, but let's actually use that, and then we sort of jammed out each section of it, recorded it, and then went back up to the house. We were practicing in the shed at the time, and then just tabbed it all out and sort of turned it into the song it is, just from what we jammed in the shed, and like all the parts we just jammed out there.
Again, for context, my drums are set up. It's not really a shed, but we just call it the shed. It's like my sort of it's like a little sort of outhouse.
It's in my
garden.
It's a bit better than a shed.
It's a brick building, but yeah,
more like a house.
The shed. But yeah, it to sort of come back round to the question. It's sort of the first album was sort of had lots of different. There wasn't like we're writing songs like this and this is how it's all going to sort of come. It was loads of different stuff. Like some of them were just straight up. Kate pretty much completed the songs. Some of them we jammed together. Some of them we'd sort of send clips to each other. Like the first track on the album, I just recorded sort of loads of improvised drums because we'd been on like a mini tour with Teeth Grinder, and they used a lot of like really fast blasts and stuff. And I was like, it'd be cool to try and work some more blast beaty stuff into our music. And I remember sort of coming up with sort of this bit and sent it to Kate, and then Kate sent it to Luke, who said to make it more technical. So it does have this like weird process, but obviously it's changed because we are sort of writing a bit now as well. But we don't have any rhyme or reason to it all really. It just seemed to sort of come together and happen. But maybe one day we'll sort of have a formula down. But it seems to be working what we're doing at the moment.
And then the fourth member is the
shed.
Not the shed. Is the Gent Simulator.
I forgot about
that. The Gent Simulator.
On the album.
Stuff in.
That sounds great.
The title track on the album was like a random riff generator I found.
Amazing.
On that song, and I was like, make it like you could like select which notes it would play in like a random frequency, and then like say if you want it in a weird time signature, and I just did and press generate and got a sick riff out of it.
They're going to be after their royalties now. the riffgenerator.com.
They definitely listen to this podcast.
Yeah, they actually are. In fact, we work for riffgenerator.com, and you've been rumbled. This whole thing's been a sting.
We finally got out of them, Si.
We wrote that riff. We're here to get our money.
Have you got many guests on this album? I know you mentioned one.
3 of them in there. We've got Carson from Dow Boys, and then
yeah.
Wicked.
we've got Gaff from Grey Brain, and then we've got Cam from Sufferer, which was entirely spontaneous in that he works at the studio I was recording vocals at, and as I was tracking the first song, he like was on the other side of the booth, like pressing record and stuff, and he just did like sick. He's in like I used to be in a Black and Death band with him, which is his band Sufferer. He did these like sick lows over what I was doing, and then I was like, "Oh, that's sick. Do you want to just get in the booth? Then I'll just press record from there, and you do half the song instead of Luke doing those parts." And
Nice.
We did. So I just
Yeah, so thanks, Cam.
yeah, Luke got kicked off that track, and we had Cam do those vocals, and yeah, I think we're gonna stick with that approach for like 3 guest spots. We've got the Clout one, which is Callous Boys, and then we've got 2 mates.
Yeah.
Not that Carson's not my mate, but like there are known bands. But I think on the next album maybe we'll try and do the same. We've got 2 smaller friends bands lined up, and then try and find someone like, I don't know, Chad from Frontiera, because he shared the song. I'll message him and be like, please, can you sing on one of our tracks?
Nice. Anything so that Luke doesn't have to sing again, I guess.
I don't hate vocals that much.
And there it was.
There it
Chinwag.
was.
What a
Chinwag.
chinwag that was. Hope you enjoyed the chinwag. Is everyone ready? Is everyone ready for the second part of the episode?
So, I think there's a bit of a jingle war.
Oh yeah, Matt and I both each did a jingle
Separately.
for dissection.
Usually we
Yeah.
do it together.
Yeah,
But mine's
we did it
clearly
separately.
better.
Well, you would say that,
But you don't think you can hear what I'm saying?
Well, I think everyone knows what it is because it's obviously the words dissection.
Dissection. But no, let's hear it. Here it is.
And there it was.
There it
That's Matt's
was.
jingle.
Yeah.
Should we play my jingle?
Here it is.
And there it was.
I think they're both about as good as each other.
They're both terrible, aren't
So
they?
we'll find out which
Can you
one.
somehow play both of them over the top of each other to introduce the section? It's
Yeah.
gonna sound awful.
Yeah, I'll do
We
that.
don't know what it's gonna sound like
Okay.
right now. Let's do that. See what happens.
So for the very first time, a new section, a new jingle for the section with Pupil Slicer. It's dissection.
Dissection.
So are you guys up for a bit of dissection?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, give it a
Get
go.
up for it.
Hell yeah.
That's it. That's what you want. John. Right. So I've created what can only be described as a shit slide to get up on the screen, so you can see what the categories are.
Let's go to the dice side.
Okay, I'm almost there. Can you see it?
See
Oh,
the-
great.
See the whole PowerPoint. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. That's what you meant to see. That's the whole idea.
I can't exactly. I think I can make out everyone's faces is covering the words on the right.
Okay, I think you can move that if you want to, but it's totally up to you. We'll take you through it. It's not essential to see these.
Have you got a jingle?
We're
There
not
will
ready-
definitely be a jingle for it. A
Yeah,
dissection
we have
jingle.
jingles throughout the show, so we'll definitely do a dissection one. So basically, roll the dice. Each number is a section for questions. Yawn Fest is questions about you guys as a band, which is not
How
boring, not boring, but like standard interview questions, some of which we've already covered. 2 is forced fun, some sort of fun questions. 3 is brutal, that might be quite difficult to answer, potentially. 4 is Valentine's, just because the show comes out 2 days before Valentine's. 5 is general knowledge. And 6 is track list. We've tried to come up with questions related to the names of tracks on the album. So, are you ready to play dissection?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
This is the fun bit for me. I get to roll the dice, and you get to believe what I say about what's on it. Here we go. That is number 5. General knowledge. Matt, do you want to do the first question?
Yep, I'll go. Right, because it's Valentine's Day in 2 days, I've got this question. It's name the leader of the Chicago gangsters responsible for the St. Valentine's Day massacre in 1929. So the leader of the gangsters.
Al Capone.
Yeah,
Boom. You guys are
Josh
good.
has it. Josh has won.
Well done, Josh. 1 point to Josh. There is no prize. You get to leave the call. That's the prize. Okay, that's 5 again. You can't see that coming. Two. Forced fun. I'll pick a forced fun question. Okay, this is a good one. So Shag, Marry, Kill. Do you know the game Shag, Marry, Kill?
Of course.
This is Shag, Marry, Kill.
Secondary school, yeah.
Yeah. Shag, Marry, Kill. Dillinger, Converge, Frontiera.
Oh. Do we do one each?
You can do one each, yeah. If you've got the time, it's your own time you're wasting.
What is it?
We're sort of in that marriage capacity with Frontier a little
I
bit.
guess you are,
We're
yeah.
working together creatively. We're
wanna cheat
I'm
on
committed.
wondering if Dillinger being a corpse affects
I'd say
how we should do it.
To be fair though, we do kind of we would like to work with Kurt at some point, dream. So we could.
And he does listen, so be careful what you say.
I suppose Dillinger being a corpse means you probably want to might be a bit smelly, so
They are dead.
tag on that,
I was going to say Dillinger is no more. So
Already dead, yeah.
Yeah.
True.
You want to stay away from that.
Can't overkill.
Yeah, I'm not marrying a corpse.
Not again, after last time.
Not after last time. No.
You genuinely, that's probably the most difficult question that you'll ask.
So yeah,
Okay.
We're already.
Let's find out.
Oh wait, no, we have to kill. Dillinger's already dead. We'll kill Dillinger twice.
Okay, cool.
Double
jeopardy.
Never coming back.
And then marry Frontiera because we've already sort of been an arranged marriage. We're already sort of stuck in that one now.
That was a very thorough answer. Thank you very much. Some might say you overthought it, not me. Number 6, track list. Matt, over to you.
Right, okay. You've got a song called Husk. The question here is, can you name a famous person with a husky voice?
Morgan Freeman?
They have to be on our list of...
This is the mind reading section.
Everyone you get on our list, you get a point.
Clint Eastwood.
Oh, that's good.
What about Tom Waits?
Tom Waits, that's what I was.
Yeah, good, but not on the list, guys. Sorry about that.
Nick Cave?
Good, but not on the list.
Good, but not quite right.
Matt, who could they have had?
You could have had Doc Cotton from the
good one,
EastEnders.
classic.
Very husky there.
Pat Butcher?
Oh,
yeah, that will work as well.
Yeah, not on the list, but you can have that.
Lemmy's quite famously husky. Miley Cyrus you got down here, Si. She's pretty husky.
Oh yeah, she's
husky.
now.
Could have had Bob
particularly
Hoskins.
Oh, he's a legend.
He is indeed, and he's got a husky voice. So that is that question over and done with. We'll give you a point for that, even though there's no prizes, apart from being able to leave. Number 4, Valentine's. Who would be your ideal Valentine's date? Dead or alive, famous or not famous?
We're all already in relationships, so we're not allowed to anyone else.
Well, that's
They
different.
won't see it.
Not even dead celebrities.
Can I have Lita circa 1999 or 2002?
Lita, is she a wrestler?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Lita. You definitely can have Lita.
That'd be my boyhood answer.
She is on the list.
We can make that happen as well.
Yeah.
So,
Please welcome
we'll
Lita
send her
to the podcast. The moment we've all been waiting for. Right, next one. 2, forced fun again.
would you rather lose your voice or your arms?
Ooh.
You could do a lot with both.
Yeah, especially in a band.
I'll get someone else to sing voice. And now I can still play video games and paint Warhammer miniatures.
So you have to
Good
do that all
answer.
with your mind.
The important things.
Yeah, but not tell anyone about it.
Yeah.
Apart from through sign language, which is also fine.
Yeah.
Right, okay, next one. 3, brutal. Who is the worst at what they do in the band?
Me.
Oh, there you go. Fair enough.
1 point.
I cannot play guitar for them.
That must be qualified, okay? So I practice a lot.
Okay.
Kate does not practice.
Aha.
I've played for like 15 years, yeah?
Yeah.
Kate's played for like 4.
Okay.
And just comes up, guys, I can't really like play. Like that's how it goes.
So we're saying, relatively speaking, you're the worst.
Kate says it like every rehearsal, after every gig. So I'm sort of like, yeah, you are terrible. It's sort of it's wore me down.
Okay, right. 6 track lists again.
Right, Stabbing Spiders.
Matsuki. Oh, yeah.
Yep, I know. Got a song called Stabbing Spiders. If you had 6 extra arms, what would you do with each of them?
It's a legit question.
I've got to think of a task where you're doing a different thing with each arm at the same time.
Yep.
Okay, well, I'll go guitar with 2. There you go.
Yep.
Cup of tea.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Would that be with 1?
That's 1. Yeah.
Right, okay. Because you need to hold the cup and the kettle, and there's probably...
Oh, you could make 1. Yeah, 2 then. Making a cup of tea.
Making a cup of tea whilst playing the guitar.
Yeah. I'll paint some Warhammer miniatures with another pair.
Nice.
And then
I'd beat Kate up with my extra hands for that very lame answer.
Oh, that's nice. That's lovely.
Is that the Warhammer answer or the tea?
You're such a nerd. I'll just really work out with them.
yeah, get yoked.
Yeah.
Arm wrestle myself 4 times.
Luke, I guess yours would be 8 steins, would it?
No, well, I was gonna say like, so Kate's described as sort of like Wallace and Gromit kind of.
Yeah, I was thinking sort of Inspector Gadget.
But yeah, I'd probably just have all 6, and then you can kind of be like Spider-Man 2099.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
It. Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, that's the sort of arts we're looking for, Kate.
Yeah.
That's great.
Not this on
Sorry, Kate. You lose your point from earlier, Kate. Sorry.
Make a cuppa.
You still got 2 arms left, Kate.
And play Kumbaya on the guitar all at the same time. Okay, number 1, Yawn Fest. Sorry, guys. A listener question. We've got a listener question.
Oh.
Really?
This is from, honestly, someone did.
Honestly,
listener questions.
I promise.
I was worried we're not big enough to,
No, you've got a couple. David Lewandowski. I don't know if it's okay to say his full name.
No, we've just said it.
We've just said it.
I was going to come and get him on it.
Yeah.
He'll be in the papers tomorrow morning. David Lewandowski. He says, what was your artistic vision going into the recording process for Mirrors?
Oh.
Yeah. That sounds like a Lewandowski question.
Thanks, David.
Thank you, David.
To play to the click.
Did it happen?
The artistic license to play to a click. Probably just writing music we like. We want to. We like a lot of bands in this scene, and we want to sound. We don't. We do want to sound like them in a way. Like we want to capture the things that bands are doing that we like, and we have fun watching, so that other people will have fun watching us. But also, we then get to play things we like that are like other bands, but trick people into thinking we've written original songs.
Magicians reveal their secrets.
Yeah.
I have to give Kate credit with regards to the vision thing. Like, it must be said that Kate had a very defined vision that was clear to her, which
isn't clear to anyone else.
No, it's true though. Like, it did kind of drive the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because in your mind,
I was very picky with both you and Josh, to much both your dismay, and probably why Josh would go for beating me up with the spider arms.
Yeah,
the amount
I could have easily, if I had them at hand during the recording process.
I wouldn't have survived.
so imagine the films.
Yeah, imagine the films.
Might have made my life easier, and Kate wouldn't have been on my back. So.
Yeah, I was very specific with the recording process and breathing down the necks of both.
It's like just thrashed out this bit perfectly, really, really done it really well. And Kate would be like, could you try the cymbal half time in that section? It's like, I guess so.
Very briefly, right, when we recorded in the August that was mentioned, I think it was when the heat wave was.
Yeah.
So hot in my room where I was recording, and like where the sun would change throughout the day, different parts of the room would become hot. And in the later afternoon of one of the days that we was recording, it got to a point where really the only place that Kate could stand that wasn't directly in the sun was next to me here.
Was the shed actually a greenhouse?
Yeah, I'm recording and Kate's like, could you change? I'm like, could you fuck off?
Imagine if you had 8 arms each as well. That would have been a nightmare. No room at all. You guys okay for a couple more of these? And then we'll let you go. You're free to leave after that. Over to you, Matt. It is general knowledge 5.
General knowledge, right. Your band's name is Pupil Slicer, as you may know. But do you know how many blind people there are in the world?
Ooh.
I have to give it to the closest if you guess. But fully blind, not just like visually impaired. Full blind.
250 million.
500 million.
Ooh.
Josh?
10 million.
I think Josh is closest. It's 39 million fully blind people in the world.
Go on, Kate. What's that in like 1 out of 100?
What?
Because I was trying
percentage.
I was trying to work it out. Like, is it 1 in? Because population.
That'd be like 0.005%.
Good work.
I feel there's more fully blind people than those that have had COVID, right? Is that?
Do you have the stat of how many blind people have COVID, Matt?
No, not in front of me.
Not relevant. That's
I lost
fine.
that paper.
My maths degree comes in handy for math.
We are legit math
calculating blind people.
Yeah, you are legit math core.
Maths
core.
British.
Okay, brutal. 3. Who in the industry, every time you know you're going to see them, do you go, for fuck's sake, about? Who don't you like in the industry? Easy way of saying that.
It's not a personal dig or anything, but like I'm about, when did Sempiternal come out? That Bring Me album, about 2014 or something. Yeah. I went to see that show just to qualify because my missus really wanted to go. But Bring Me are all right. But generally, and Pierce the Veil supported, and it was bad. That's not.
Was that it? So you don't like them as people?
I'm just saying, Pierce the Veil was like what honestly one of the I'd say worst bands.
Oh really?
And generally for me, it just would be just the mention of Motley Crue. Generally.
So if you saw Pierce the Veil on a bill, you would stay in the pub for that section.
I mean, there's probably more shade I could throw than that, but.
Dream Theater.
Oh, don't say that shit.
Dream Theater.
Yeah, that's harsh.
Dream Theater.
maybe just James LeBrie. Yeah, not Dream Theater.
No, James LeBrie's trousers.
James LeBreeches.
James LeBreeches, yes.
But surely you'd rather they were still on.
Well,
if I know? Or would
if you were one of the 39 million blind people, you wouldn't care.
When I saw Dream Theater, he said that he was like swiveling around on a little stool with like a spotlight.
Classic. That's classic.
Yeah, and
classic LeBrie.
And he literally said, "I hope tonight we all get a little lubricated," and then laughed.
Then laughed. That's the worst bit, that he laughed at it.
That is the worst bit. A cheesy joke. Oh, sorry. Very bad. Right, we'll do one more. And it is track list.
Okay. Right. I've got Vilified, your song. You probably know it.
Yeah, heard of it.
Do you have a famous villain, your favourite famous villain? Who is it and why? All about villains here.
These guys love the first Spider-Man film.
The Green Goblin.
You love the Green Goblin.
You
I enjoy
and
the
me,
memes.
Spider-Man.
To be fair, William Dafoe just as a person looks like a villain.
Yeah, there was a time we were playing at this bar, the Gunners. It was like by the Arsenal stadium in.
I know that pub.
It's Arsenal supporters club. It's great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were playing there, and Luke came over and he was like, "What are you doing there in that corner?" And we were just about to go on, and me and Josh were watching William Dafoe Spider-Man clips on his phone. We just fell.
Something to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of wait. In hindsight,
Shall
I kind of wish in hindsight that I kind of spent, them gig times, when we could go to the pub and enjoy things maybe a bit more, made the most of them than watching Spider-Man clips on my phone in hindsight. But
you're watching Spider-Man clips with another person, which we can't do now as well.
Oh,
so-
that's true. Think yourself lucky. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very true. I'll ask one more just because I quite like the question, if that's all right. So it's from track list, L'appel du vide, which when I Googled it said, you can correct me if I'm wrong, is this act of feeling like you want to throw yourself into a void. Is that right?
The call of the void.
Oh, is that what it means? Okay.
Yeah, it's like when you get the urge to do something you wouldn't ever do. But so you're driving down the street, and you're like, oh, I could just drive into the other.
Oh, yeah. We've all been there.
Or purchase Dream Theatre tickets.
Or
purchase a night with James LeBrie tickets. So the question off the back of that track title is Snog, Marry, Avoid Black Holes, Wells, Chasms.
Marry a black hole because I love astrophysics. I did an astrophysics maths degree.
Yeah, how about
Wells and chasms.
Chasms, yeah.
Yep.
I'd snog a well because
of course, everyone would. Why wouldn't you? Sexy wells.
And you'd avoid a chasm because I can't think of any good use for a pit.
Fair. That's fair.
Was that all the one reader question we had?
Oh no, you got another one. Sorry, actually.
Oh yeah, there is.
There was another one. I apologise. And this other one is from someone called Simon, but I promise it's not just me adding one in, pretending it's from someone else.
Testing the contact.
Sounds suspect.
sounds
It does, doesn't
fishy.
it? The other one, which is a good question actually. Sorry, Simon, for leaving you out almost. Favorite gig memory, and it can't be watching Spider-Man in the corner.
Because it cost me the most, probably going to New York to see Dillinger's final 3 shows. Just because my wallet would be upset if I picked another one because I fly stuck in New York for it. But that was actually terrific. They had Daughters, Code Orange, and
Godmother
supporting, and then they played the whole Mike Patton thing. They played all of Under the Running Board with Dimitri.
Amazing.
Yeah, bangers front to back. And then the day after, I went to see Godmother playing St. Vitus in Brooklyn with loads of other Party Smasher bands. And then during that gig, I left to then go and see One Bond playing down the road.
Nice.
And Carson was there, and Carson got on stage to do a cover of Milk Lizard with One Bond.
Oh, wicked.
And Christian from Mathcore Index was there, and we were all gathered around the mic singing the chorus on that. But it was a big Dillinger send off the day after, and then everyone who went got the flu and was stuck in bed for 2 weeks.
Oh no! You're not patient zero, are you?
With shouting over each other at gigs, but that was the worst flu I've ever had in my life.
Josh, tell him the Machine Head one.
Yeah, I think it was the second gig I went to, which was weird. Like the first two big heavy metal shows I went to were both at Brixton Academy within a week of each other. The first one was Lamb of God, and then a week later Machine Head played. And I went with my friend, and we watched the gig, and we waited outside at the back of the stage sort of area for half an hour, and then this American dude came out. He's like, "You can all come in and meet Machine Head if you want." be respectful, do this, don't do that, and that sort of stuff. We went upstairs. I was probably like 16 at the time, and we went backstage and met like all the people in Machine Head, and were chatting to them for ages. And like, because we were like 16, we were like, "Oh, we have to go now because we have school tomorrow. But it was lovely to meet you." And like, but they were really nice and cool, and yeah, it was quite a sick gig really, because it was one of the ones that sort of got me into heavy music and stuff. And I actually saw Machine Head last year at Brixton Academy, and they did sort of a medley of their one of their first albums, and yeah, so that was a very cool experience. I got lucky there.
And the desk blew up.
Oh, the latest one, yeah. Someone threw like a beer on the sound desk, and he was like, and because it was at Brixton Academy, everyone had them really big like pint glasses. They were like the double ones,
yeah.
and Rob was like, "What are those London beers you're drinking? They're crazy big beers. Who from one of them London beers on the sound desk?" It was just like going crazy, but he's quite a character. It was cool.
To round off mine, I guess it would be two, which is the first really big show that I went to was to see Maiden on the Dance of Death tour at Old Court, probably when I was about 12 or 13, I guess. That was like mad just to see Maiden and Trivium's. No, I think that was the tour after, but anyway, it was dope seeing Maiden, and I was like on Steve Harris's side, so obviously that was incredible.
Nice.
I guess. And then a while before that, and this is showing my age, I went to see Mad Capsule Markets.
Oh, wow.
And a Mean Fiddler with my dad. And my dad was like, "What?" He's like, "What is that?" He's like, this is drum and bass or something. This is crazy. And I was like, "Oh, this is pretty mad, Dad. I'm not sure it's fun." And I probably saw that when I was like 13. So, obviously the Astoria, I went to loads of great shows there. I guess being around the Astoria and the Mean Fiddler, because you could go up there when you was younger and get a train home and that. And obviously that's dead now. Like I saw System of a Down there, Oasis, some Led Zeppelin tribute band, Bloodhound Gang, loads of shows there. But
they were great.
That's the dream tour. Bloodhound Gang Slicer.
Yeah. And a Led Zeppelin tribute band. And
Oasis.
I hated the Mean Fiddler. Like the mosh pit was up a step. So you'd always fall up into the mosh pit. Like I saw Lamb of God there, and everyone was just like tripping up the. It was like there was a step to get onto the floor. Like
honorable mention though, like one of my dad's friends, because he was working on he used to be a foreman, and he told some of the guys on the site that I was like getting into metal and that. And one of his Polish mates was like, "Okay, I'll go show him metal." And they took me to a fucking Napalm Death show when I was like 13. And I was like, "I don't even understand what the hell this is." And then
13-year-old bricklayer.
Yeah. He was like, "Yeah, we see the heaviest." Yes. And I was like, "I've got no idea what this is." And Dad was like, "Do you enjoy it?" I was like, I remember it.
I just really enjoyed the one line, "and the desk blew up" at the end. I was like, "What? That's incredible."
Although didn't they I didn't go, but I read that the crew rewired the whole thing in 25 minutes or something, which is extraordinary.
That's amazing.
Very good.
Yeah. I felt sorry for people who had to catch trains and stuff, but it was pretty impressive how quickly they got it up and running again. Because a lot of people had to leave.
Well, on that bombshell, thank you guys so much for your time. We really appreciate it. And Mirrors is awesome. I'm looking forward to giving it more of a listen, because I listened to it once, I think, yesterday, because we only got the promo through yesterday.
Is there anything else you want to plug other than the album before we sign off? Just the album.
Pre-orders up for the album. We got your tapes, you got your CDs, you got your vinyl. Nice, pretty splatter. Looks like you can eat it.
I've just ordered one of those.
Thank you for doing that, Matt. It's
No
appreciated.
worries.
Yeah.
I guess on the tape, it's worth shouting out that our friend at Trep Nation put that out for us. And going back earlier to all what I said about ambient, challenging music that doesn't really have a discernible pulse, Dan, who's in Mastiff, he puts out a whole load of that stuff. It's interesting, Trep Nation, is a great label. It's like true DIY, and he just puts out
Wicked.
experimental like goat noises from Lithuania and stuff. No, I'm joking. But
Yes.
it is. He puts out some very a diverse portfolio of music.
That is a nice way of putting it. Cool. Well, thank you so much again for your time. Have a wonderful evening. And yeah, we'll definitely come catch you guys when you play eventually, when everyone's back in gigs and stuff.
We'll see you for the 2025 London debut.
Yeah, that sounds great.
See you there. We'll be holding 2 steins at the back of the room.
We'll come in full costume with extra arms, and we'll wave it in the back.
And if the sound desk goes and the lighting man's fuming, we know who did it.
You know who it is. Yeah, exactly.
Bloody London beers!
Just bring the die, and it'll be okay.
Yeah, we'll bring the die. We'll shout questions at you from the back of the room.
Dissection, anyone?
And there it was.
There it was.
Dissection.
I love
in
Dissection.
all its glory. So do I.
If you're in a band and you want to take part in Dissection, give us a shout. You could be the next Dissection band. God knows what we're going to ask. Who knows? It could be anything.
The die will decide.
Die will die.
No, that's bad.
Oh, yeah. It's bad. But thanks for listening.
Yeah, thank you.
Next week is episode 24, and that is...
Went slightly Transylvanian then. What happened there?
Well, it's because
24.
I was being the Titanium Werewolf, which is next week's episode.
Well remembered. Okay, great. Look forward to that.
Yeah, come back next week, and make sure you just message us and tell a friend.
Yeah, do all the above.
Let's make this the biggest podcast in podcast land.
The greater London area.
In the Badlands of Hackney.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Tell a friend. And yeah, we'll see you next week.
Big thanks to Pupil Slicer again. And
don't
forget to
massive thanks.
buy their bloody album. Buy it.
Yeah,
don't
really
just
great.
Stream it like a prick.
Maybe
buy
you
the
could
thing.
preload the Spotify.
Yeah, I mean, if you listen to their songs they got out, I don't know why you wouldn't buy it. And they got like a new red vinyl and stuff, so just fucking buy it.
Yeah, fucking get it.
So yeah, thanks for coming. See you next week.
Yeah, thank you. Bye then.
Bye.